This is Janelle Robbins-Gady with my final project for AEP 879. Here's my table of contents, beginning with my personal introduction through the signed summative evaluation form, slides 3 through 65. I was born and raised in western Kansas, and I attended and graduated Holcomb Schools. In 1982, I graduated from St. Mary of the Plains with a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education and multiple endorsements. I began my teaching career at USD 363 in 1982. In 1994, I graduated from Fort Hays State University with a Master of Science in Special Education and additional endorsements. In 2007, I assisted KSDE in writing the physical education standards, and in 2010, I began teaching at USD 216 in Deerfield. In 2011, I received the Capers Elementary Physical Education Teacher of the Year Award. I'm an adjunct for Kansas Newman University, and I'm currently working as an administrative intern, also known as an elementary building principal, at USD 216 while completing my building leadership certification. I am married with 2 sons who both attend Kansas State University. My practicum goals were to gain a deeper understanding of the 6 ISLIC standards and the competencies associated with each standard, facilitate activities to help build stronger relationships between staff, students, and parents, focus on developing student vocabulary in order to impact student achievement, develop skills to conduct effective teacher walkthroughs and evaluations, and reflect on my personal leadership capacity. My leadership philosophy is entitled I Believe and is inspired by the first verse of Whitney Houston's song, Greatest Love of All.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be.
As a leader in education, I believe that one must be passionate about learning, inspire others to share the journey, enable others to act, and encourage others to give their very best. A major objective I had during this practicum was to highlight the need for developing students' vocabulary and provide teachers with strategies to support vocabulary instruction. In addition, I wanted to initiate some special vocabulary activities with students as the building leader. I selected this project because research shows that children from low-income families come to school knowing fewer words than children from families in other income levels. Demographic data from my district shows that 79% of students come from a disadvantaged environment and 72% are on free and reduced lunch. Research also estimates that 85% of achievement test scores are based on understanding the vocabulary presented in the standards. Teaching vocabulary is one of the major shifts within the ELA Common Core State Standards and is an essential task for enhancing student achievement. One strategy that I shared with my teachers comes from the ELA Common Core State Standards and is known as tiered vocabulary instruction. Beck suggests that for instructional purposes, teachers concentrate on Tier 2 words. Their argument is that most students already know Tier 1 words and that Tier 3 words should be taught within specific content areas. In addition, teachers should reflect on the following 3 questions when selecting Tier 2 words. How generally useful is the word? How does the word relate to other words or to ideas that students already know? What does the word bring to the text or situation? To support this building initiative, I incorporated the following student principal activities. Word Wizard Success Board. An area in my office where students share with me their favorite Tier 2 words discovered in their classroom. Words are hung on this board by their class picture. At the end of the month, the class that has the longest list of words is invited to eat lunch with me in the office. Scrabble tournaments for students grades 3 through 5. Each month, in lieu of silent reading time, students are allowed to play Scrabble. Winners from each group then get to challenge another adult on staff the following day. Sentence sleuth for students K through 2. Students select 2 or 3 words from the Word Wizard board and use these words to write a meaningful sentence on a large sentence strip. These are then hung outside my office, and we are trying to stretch our way down the hall. The focus on building student vocabulary fits with ISLIC Standard Number 2, and I plan to continue researching and developing activities to support this initiative in my leadership role. Here are copies of my practicum log at the district and secondary level and at the elementary level. These were activities I shared in our practicum video blogs. Now I'm ready to begin sharing my specific practicum activities and related artifacts. At the district level, I participated in the Board of Education's yearly goal-setting meeting. This gave me an awareness of board members' views on various educational topics. I also attended monthly Board of Education meetings, which enabled me as the building principal to meet with stakeholders on a regular basis to facilitate communication. Here is an artifact from the goal-setting meeting with the Board of Education. I also participated in a webinar to review the changes on the e-walkthrough tool. This enabled me to assist other administrators utilizing the tool. I also attended a dinner sponsored by the Americans for Prosperity Against the Common Core. This activity provided me with information on this group's campaign. And here are artifacts from this activity. My last district level activity was attending a school crisis team meeting and active shooter tabletop exercise. This developed my awareness of the need for developing a culture of preparedness within the school. And here are those related artifacts. At the secondary level, I completed the budget narrative for the Safe and Supportive School Grant. By completing this activity, I was able to review the new guidelines for utilizing these monies. And here is an artifact of the budget narrative. I also participated in a training over the e-walkthrough and E4E evaluation tool with the middle school and high school principals. This provided all building administrators the opportunity to discuss the tools and discuss consistency in using these instruments. I have documentation on these tools which will be shared later in my presentation. I also supervised Friday school for middle school and high school students who have failing grades. And I also reviewed the Spartacular Times newsletter, which was developed as part of the S3 grant. And here is an artifact of Spartacular Times. My last activity at the secondary level was attending the all-school play presented by high school students entitled Snow White: The Untold Story. It required a lengthy cast, but students did an exceptional job with this production. For my elementary activities, I began by reviewing the tornado and fire evacuation routes with the building secretary and custodians and posting the fire log for the 2013-2014 school year. This activity made me more aware of the number and ages of students evacuating the building from specific exits and what stairwell each class should use during tornado drills. I also organized and participated in the back-to-school open house and ice cream social. This beginning of the school activity is a great time to begin building relationships with parents. The bottom right picture shows the principal as a human ice cream sundae for meeting the attendance challenge for this event. I also completed 34 walkthroughs during this practicum. It is important that the building leader is visible in classrooms throughout the day. I also facilitated meetings with the Positive Behavior Support Team to review school-wide expectations and office referral data. This information informed the staff of what children need behavior supports. Here is an artifact of the e-walkthrough, and here is an artifact showing the office referral data. I also compiled information for the principal's audit book. There are numerous documents that need to be collected in preparation for the yearly audit by KSDE, and the sooner you do this, the easier it is to find these documents. I also planned and facilitated building level in-services. From this activity, I realized it's necessary to have district in-service topics planned in advance of the beginning of the school year. And here's an artifact of a teacher in-service agenda. I also chaired the student intervention team meetings. By handling this activity, I realized that the first student intervention team meeting actually needs to occur in August in order to provide the best assistance for students who are carried over from the previous year. I also presented behavior awards to students nominated by classroom teachers and took pictures for the newspaper and parents. It's always great to continually applaud students' efforts. And here is our student intervention team request for assistance form. And here is a picture of our September Sparta Bees. Another activity I participated in was working with K-5 staff to review the progressions documents for the Math Common Core state standards. This increased my awareness of the need for more professional development in math instruction. The following slide shows one of the videos that the staff watched while reviewing these documents. The webpage address is at the bottom of the following slide. I also worked with K-12 staff to review the next generation science standards and literacy skills associated in these standards. This also increased my awareness for the need for updated science resources and additional professional development. And here is a document that was given to those staff members that participated in this activity. I also met with the Regional Success for All facilitator to review implementation of the SFA program. By participating in this activity, I became more familiar with the program and the leadership processes. And this is an artifact showing the goal-setting page that we complete to rate our instructional practices in the Success for All reading program. I also scheduled and conducted pre-conference evaluation meetings with 4 Track 4 probationary teachers. The new E4E evaluation tool does not utilize a simple pre-conference form, so I utilized the one I created during my supervision and evaluation course. I also conducted 4 teacher evaluations on the E4E evaluation, held post-conferences, and completed all the associated teacher evaluation documents. And here is the artifact showing the E4E. I also assisted staff members with the family wellness night that we held. And this year we tried having a separate parent component during this event, and it was well received by those in attendance. The bottom right picture shows the presenter who gave the parent information session on diabetes and obesity, and she did this presentation in Spanglish. I also organized a Kansas Reads to Preschoolers event for children and parents. Conducting these special events encourages community stakeholders to participate with our school. And here are pictures from that event where we read Dog's Colorful Day. I believe that the practicum experience would require a certain degree of organizational and communication skills. I discovered that these tasks required more time than I had anticipated. So I asked myself, is there a systematic approach that I could use to make the above tasks less time-consuming? I know that as I gain experience as a building leader, the time required for these tasks should be reduced. However, in the meantime, to assist with organization, I created a special to-do list which contained 10 slots. Each day, I would prioritize the top 10 things that needed to be completed during the school day. To help with communication, I wrote a weekly staff memo including information on the upcoming meeting and events. And here is an artifact of one of my weekly memos. From my annotated bibliography, I read a variety of articles from different sources. They range from vocabulary instruction, attitudes for effective teaching, poverty, school uniforms, religion, and effective feedback. As a building leader, it is imperative that you spend time reading information related to your position to enhance your capacity as a leader. This is my signed summative evaluation form by Cheryl Kime, the district superintendent. And in closing, I would like to pay tribute to Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Thank you for listening, and have a great holiday season.